Hello everyone, welcome to the video. If you've seen me in this outfit before, no you haven't. I'm definitely not recording 1,000 things in one day, okay? So just ignore that. But if this is your first time here, which that's crazy, that could be. Let me give you a little debrief. Who am I? I don't even know. I'm an Australian who moved I feel like I'm a robot right now and I'm trying to explain how I'm a human, but I'm just a robot. I'm an Australian who moved to Canada September 2022. I was like, you know what if we just went to Canada? It's always been something that I've joked about, and then one day my friend was telling me about it, and it didn't seem that hard to do. I was like, should we do it? So I did a lot of research. I researched a shit ton. I did all the visa by myself, got the job by myself. I moved, not by myself, with my boyfriend, but he was basically just along for the ride. He didn't know nothing. To be fair, I knew nothing either. I'd never seen snow, never skied, snowboard, never really had anything to do with ski resorts in my life. So together we combined our skills and knowledge to move to Canada. And it's been really fun, and I've been here almost 2 years now. My visa expires in this September this year, and it's April right now. But it's okay because I got another visa, so that's fine. But yeah, that's my little background. I like to share videos about moving to Whistler and what Whistler's like and what the job's like and what the housing's like. Because when I moved, there was little to no content on Whistler. There were a few, no, there was nothing. There was a little bit about moving to Whistler and moving to Canada and doing working holiday, but nothing on Whistler specifically. There was one photo of West Side housing, which didn't really help me at all. I didn't even know that I was going to have roommates when I moved in. I was like, okay, cool. I've just been wanting to share things so that I can help people. And since this last winter that we just had, when everyone came, there had so many people that said that they had seen my videos and that they had, my videos had helped them. So I really, really love to hear that, because I really just want to make this place seem more inviting and welcoming. Because to be honest, oh my God, this has gone a long time. To be honest, before I moved here, everything that I saw in Whistler was terrible. They were like, no, housing is terrible, everything's terrible. So I was like, ain't no way I'm going to Whistler. And I had known 2 people that had been in Whistler a few years prior and loved it, but still I was like, no, not for me. And I had my heart set on Banff. I did a lot of research on Banff, more research than you can ever imagine on Banff. And I had my heart set on Banff. And I did get a job in Lake Louise, and Stefan hadn't yet. And then I had an interview in Whistler, and I got the job and housing straight up. Thanks, my old manager, for that. And I was like, well, we should just do that. And to be honest, mainly the reason that I got Whistler was because Banff had not, I don't think they had even opened their applications yet. Or I'd applied for some, but barely any. And then by the time they got back to me, was very late. I had already organized all my Whistler job. I would say maybe around September. I'm not sure, but it was late. I was like, sorry. So if they had been earlier, this could have been different, and all my videos could have been about Banff. So that's crazy. But I do love Whistler, and it feels like home to me now. And I want to make people feel like it's not as scary as it needs to be. So that is why I want to make this video about budget. I've been thinking a lot about costs lately. I'm making a video at the moment about how much it costs to live here just day to day. Mainly what's inspired me is the fact that I'm so broke at the moment. But last season I was so rich. So it's where did I go wrong? I don't know. So we'll find out eventually. But this video, I want to more talk about before coming here and how much money you need, because before I came, my main focus was just save as much money as I can. I didn't really think too much about what it would cost to actually settle here, I guess. I thought about the initial cost, but I didn't really think too much after that. And back home, we actually have a house with a mortgage. So that was in our interest to save a lot for that as well. So I can't remember how much money we had. Actually, I might have the proof of funds. Actually do it, because I was literally just looking at all my old files because I couldn't remember anything. I still cannot remember too much. So probably everything I give is going to be an estimate, because unless I like go back and I can edit and I'll add on if it's a different to what I say, but it's going to be like, I can't remember how much a visa is. I just had to get another visa, so I paid for something, but I'm pretty sure last time I had to pay for more. Yeah, the biometrics. Fuck, how much is that? I don't know. Shit, man. This is going to be a terrible video. I don't know nothing. Sheesh. That's a lot. I'll tell you, you're going to have to wait and see now. Well, it's a lot more than I have right now. I'll tell you that much. So obviously the very first thing that's going to cost you money is getting your visa. Actually, I lied. That's not the first thing, because you're going to need documents for your visa. So before getting a job or anything, you need to get your visa. That's the most important thing, obviously. Takes longer, it's more important, more hard work. Make sure you do that first. There are companies that can help with this, like the Working Holiday Club. I'm pretty sure the Working Holiday Club costs about $1,000. When I was looking into coming here, I was like, had already started the visa application process, and I'm like, do I really want to spend $2,000 for something I can probably do? And I did ask them, I said, can you guarantee me housing, staff housing through this company? And they said no. So I said, you're no use to me. So I did it all on my own, and it was actually totally fine. But yeah, obviously the first thing is going to be the visa. So when you're getting the visa, there's like a lot of little costs, I feel like. So number one, you got to get your police certificate. I can't remember what anything costs. This is a terrible video. So I'm just going to put some numbers out there, and if they're wrong, I'm going to add it on the screen. Police certificate, $90. Obviously, I was doing mine for 2 people, so it feels more expensive in my head, but I'll just do for me. $90, very straightforward. Go on the website, whatever. Then it comes in the mail. Don't put the wrong address like I did, because that's just like, it just makes everything a lot harder, but it doesn't matter. So you buy, not the biometrics. Police certificate, done. You also have to get like a digital photo. So I did mine on a website. I literally just took a photo of myself, and then they like adjusted it so that it was good enough. $20 or so. Then your, what else? I think that's it. So for the visa, I can't remember. I think I'm going to throw out $500 to $1,000. The visa costs money. Just know that. So you pay that upfront, and then you wait for your POE, they call it, which is basically means you've been approved to get your visa. Hey, it's me. So I totally forgot to tell you about biometrics. You have to go to like Sydney or Melbourne or somewhere and get your fingerprint scanned. That is paid for in the visa fee, but obviously it's going to cost you money to get to that place. We had to fly to Sydney, so that's another fun little cost for getting your visa. Okay, bye. Then you can't actually activate it until you get to Canada and activate it through customs or through immigration. So that costs money, a lot of money. And then before you come to Canada is when it's going to be a really, really important time. Those few months prior, when you already have your visa and you're waiting for it to come to Canada, those months prior are really, really important for saving money. Do not go out. Do not go out. You don't need to go out. You're about to go to Canada, where you're going to go out every day, especially if you're coming just for a winter season in a ski resort. Trust me when I say don't go out. Maybe if you're leaving, do. That's it. Honestly, just be a hermit, work as much as you can, because you're about to have the time of your life. And the more that you can do in the months prior, the better experience you're going to have. So I'll put a number at the end of what I think that you should have in savings, like I did. But I honestly just think save as much as you can, depending on like your situation. So something that you will have to pay for before you leave, obviously, is your flight. I had to book a one-way flight because I had no plans on coming home. At that time, flights were, I mean, like, it's not crazy expensive, but it's quite expensive for a one-way. We paid $2,200 from Adelaide to Vancouver. So that was quite a big hit on us. I'm pretty sure we bought them quite early too. And then another big hit is your emergency medical insurance. So you have to have emergency medical insurance to activate your visa. There are stories of people being like, oh, they didn't check it, so like I don't need it. It's not worth the risk. If you don't have it at all, you won't get your visa at all. If you say just get 1 year instead of 2 years, then when you go to immigration, if they happen to check it, which they most likely will, then you will only get 1 year visa. So you're just shooting yourself in the foot. There's just no need for it. Also, you need emergency medical insurance, especially if you're coming here in winter, doing winter sports, doing winter things. The odds of you getting injured are super, super high. So it is not worth the risk to be out of pocket that much money. For instance, I paid $2,000 each or $1,500, something like that. However, I broke my wrist last winter. That cost me like almost $3,000 that I paid for and then got back. So I would have been out of pocket much more than the original $1,500 that I had to pay for my insurance. So it does feel like a lot, but also keep in mind that's over 2 years. That's 2 years of insurance. $1,000 to $2,000 is not that much. I would recommend that if you're doing it, like, want to be the smartest, the most expensive, you want as high coverage and no excess. If you want to play a dangerous game, and you think that you're probably not going to get injured, I would have a high excess, which will bring the cost down, but keep the coverage high. Because if you say go to America and you're in a car accident and you're in hospital for like a week, that's like $100,000. So I know it seems like a lot when it says 100 grand, 200, 500, a million, whatever. It sounds like a lot, but it's actually, especially if you're in America, it's not that much. I'm not sure how much Canadian hospitals cost to stay in. I assume it's something similar. When you do get to Canada, there is like MSP and BC, which is like free healthcare. However, you have to stay for like over 6 months, and so I would not rely on that, especially in your first season. So yes, I know it feels like a lot, but again, you can pay for it early and just forget about it. Assume that it's a cost that you can't avoid. That's basically all for the months prior. Then right before you leave, some cost that's going to come out, especially if you're planning to like travel beforehand, or just, I think you should just have these anyway, even if you're planning to just come straight to Whistler. Obviously you're still going to be on a plane, bus, etc. I think really important that you have your Australian adapter, obviously, because all of our appliances are Australian adapter, and we need to put an adapter on the wall. Does that make sense? Make sure you got like phone cords, a power bank would be handy. Anything traveling that you usually need, I don't know, make sure you got earphones, neck pillow, little toiletries, that kind of thing. For the traveling, I think is important. Make sure you're really comfy. And then obviously when you're in Canada, you're most likely going to do some traveling too. So it's very handy to have all these things on you. You might need like a brand new suitcase, maybe a new backpack. I would definitely recommend buying a really big suitcase plus a carry-on suitcase and a backpack. You're going to end up with a lot of stuff, so it makes sense to bring the bags over, or you can buy them here, but yeah, you're going to need the bag space eventually, so just make sure that you've got something. And then in terms of like winter gear, I would bring some stuff over here, but I wouldn't bring like a jacket and that kind of thing, because most likely you're going to come here and you're going to go shopping and you're going to see something you like and you're going to buy it, because they have lots of cool winter gear here, obviously, especially like in Vancouver and in Whistler. So if you already have something nice that you really definitely think you're going to bring, like that you want to wear, bring it, but I wouldn't stress too much. I would buy most of it over here. However, that's like a really big cost when you do come here. Say you get to Whistler, you need a new jacket, new pants, long sleeve shirts, thermals, what else? Like some sort of walking boot or sneaker. Just for the everyday wear, you will have to invest in some stuff. Beanie, gloves, scarf, especially if it's a cold winter. you will have to get those things either before or after. So prepare for that. Jackets and pants can vary in price. I bought my pants secondhand, which is very handy. Some of them are like $800. I'm like, what? My jacket was $200 with discount. A good investment. Make sure you get Gore-Tex. Make sure you just like think through your purchases, especially those big items, before you do it, because your jacket you're gonna most likely wear every day. Make sure it's something that's comfy, make sure it's the right size, make sure it's Gore-Tex, make sure you like the color, that the color goes with everything that you would normally wear. So just think it through before you buy that big ticket item. Other than that, all the little things won't cost you too much. I would say all the things that I just said, maybe without the jacket, like 200, 300, thermals maybe a bit more. But again, thermals, you don't need that straight away. It will get to like -5 usually when you get here. So you'll definitely need gloves and a beanie, but they're really cheap. And also you can go to op shop stores here and buy them even cheaper. So again, they're not too expensive. A big thing that you're probably going to need to buy when you arrive, if you're going to be a skier or a snowboarder, is obviously ski gear. So there are a lot of pieces to this puzzle of snowboarding, let me tell you that. When I first got here, I didn't buy my own straight away because there was just so much and I didn't know if I was even going to snowboard. But now I've slowly been getting everything that I need. So the main items that you're going to need is a snowboard, let's say for snowboarding, a snowboard. I'll put the prices up there, like a rough, or maybe what I paid. Snowboard, bindings, snowboarding boots, snow pants, snow jacket, but we might already have that. You could just wear the same jacket. A balaclava, snow goggles, a helmet, wrist guards, butt pad, knee pad. I have all of those because I need them. Snowboarding socks. Yeah, I think that's it. Very, very expensive. And I mean, a good investment because you're going to like use them, but just be prepared that's a big cost. And then for actually like moving into your house, obviously a lot of the houses are already set up with like some bedding and some kitchenware and whatnot. However, like the bedding is not great. So something that you're probably going to have to buy if you're picky with like bedding is, we bought blankets, you might need new sheets. And then you'll probably end up buying, well, you'll need to buy groceries. So you have to do a full shop of all your staple products, like, you know, I don't know, salt and pepper. I can't think of anything else. All those things that you take for granted back home, you're not going to have any of them. So you're going to have to like restart. So your first couple of shops are going to be quite expensive. Plus you got like cleaning supplies, like, you know, toilet paper, toilet cleaner, soap, a lot of stuff. And then yeah, all your girly toiletries or men's toiletries, sorry, that was rude of me. If you didn't already bring some over, like, which you can, but like they might run out or whatever anyway, so you've got to restock on all your shampoo, conditioner, and all that's kind of expensive here, probably more expensive than back home. So it's going to add up a lot faster. So I would say for like settling into your home, at least like $300 there, depending on what sort of person you are, maybe more, maybe less, depending on how much you want to cook at home and that kind of thing. In terms of work and getting around, you're going to need to get bus tickets most likely, or a bus pass. You can get bus tickets from the grocery store, a bus pass from a few places, I can't remember where, but if you're going to be catching the bus a lot, like if you don't live in town, you probably need a bus pass. So that's going to be a certain amount of money. Obviously, before you even get to Whistler, you're going to have to set up your phone plan. That's going to cost money. I think that'll be the only like immediate cost of setting up things. SIN doesn't cost anything. Bank doesn't cost anything. So that's good. But obviously, your phone plan, maybe it won't cost anything up front, but obviously something to think about. You will need some sort of shoes, like I said before, but you also might need certain shoes for work. So if you work in food and beverage, you need to buy like non-slip shoes. Everything else gets given to you, which is really good. If settling in, there's a lot of costs, especially if you want to do it properly, if you're staying for longer. I'm sure there's some people out there that like have the bare minimum. That's fine, but I do think people get taken off guard on how much things cost. And also keep in mind that when you first get here, you probably won't be working too much, and then even when you do start work, you won't get your first paycheck for 2 weeks. So there are a lot of things involved. I do definitely recommend getting things piece by piece, and again, thinking through those big ticket items, not just doing it on a whim, especially like snowboards and ski jackets. The price varies a lot and we get discount at certain places. So I would just go shopping first, go have a look. I wouldn't just go to the first place and buy a jacket for $400, because you might find one you love that's only like $200 or $100. You might even go to the op shop and find one that you like and be like, oh my God. So definitely don't just see the first price and be like, oh shit, that's how much I'm going to pay. Definitely shop around. And in terms of like the groceries and that kind of thing, I mean, in an ideal world, you would want to go to Walmart in Squamish and get stuff from there, or even when you're in Vancouver, maybe get stuff there. At the end of the day, you're not going to find a cheap place anywhere really, other than like Walmart and Amazon for toiletries. In terms of groceries, you're going to be sitting at mainly like the same amount. However, I do recommend the independent grocer in Whistler. It's a little bit further out. You have to catch a bus if you don't have a car, but it's like a little bit better value, but the groceries are definitely more expensive. I'll explain that in like a separate video, but yeah, just be prepared. Things are not cheap. It's not even like, oh, I'll like get the cheap food, because like there are ways to make cheap meals, obviously, like bread and tuna and spaghetti, I don't know, things like that. Obviously there are like those cheaper meals, but even those things that should be really cheap, like tinned food is like $5. Meat, obviously, even like mince and stuff is like $10, $20. So you're never going to find a bargain in Whistler, but like you can find ways to make it cheaper if that's what you're trying to do, which honestly I think you should. But anyway, the thing that you've all been waiting for, how much money should you save before coming here? So we've already worked out that we're going to be using we've already worked out that ski gear is going to cost you about $1,000. Moving in is going to cost you about $300. What else was there? Before you leave, you've got insurance and flights and visa, which is going to be like $3,000 or more. But I mean, let's take that off of the savings. Anything that you bought beforehand is not part of your savings. So basically all the stuff that you want when you get here. Plus, it's really important to have some money behind you, because like if you stop working, or like I said, get injured and have to pay something outright first, if you have to race home, if you want to go to Mexico for a few weeks with your friends, you're going to want some money behind you. Even more if you are someone who is not in housing. If you're coming here without a house and you're just staying at a hostel or something, you definitely want you're gonna want more money. Okay, so the savings in my account, drum roll. I don't know how much Stefan had. I probably could look it up. Actually, was it a joint account? Maybe it was a joint account. Drum roll. In savings, we had $16,000. I think that's a pretty reasonable number. I would go at least for people who are just staying here for a winter and you're literally just going back home. $10,000. Make that your goal. But that's going to go fast, let me tell you. Especially if you like being a bit silly. So yeah, that's what I would aim for. If you're staying for even longer and you want to also have a chance to like travel and whatnot and do things in the dead season, I would say closer to like $15,000 to $20,000 would be ideal. So that when you are going on your little trips, you're just spending like your savings and not your Canadian money, and hopefully you can just like live off your Canadian money. That would be the dream. So yeah, I hope that helps. Yeah, I know it can seem really daunting, lots going on, but once you have it all, it's going to feel like so normal and so cruisy. So don't stress at all. It's just be as prepared as possible. That's what I like obviously keep saying, just be prepared. And watching this video is obviously going to help with that. So I hope that helps clear things up about the cost of living and how to save and how much to save before coming here and what to expect. But again, if you're planning on coming to Whistler this winter, good luck, and feel free to reach out to me on any platform if you want any help, because I'm here to help. And I hope you have, I hope everything goes great. And I gotta go because I can't talk anymore. Okay, I appreciate y'all. Goodbye.